Sometimes I get asked why I started a YouTube channel, why I cover the alternative music scene, and the answer to that is really simple. I've always wanted to create something that I wish I had when I was first getting into music, which is why my Twitter bio says helping people find their favorite band. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 bands in the scene that you need to hear. First, let's talk about the Linda Lindas and their awesome story. While opening up for the legendary Bikini Kill, they caught the eye of Amy Poehler, which then led to the band recording songs for her movie Moxie. Then, in 2021, the band went viral for their song Racist Sexist Boy, got signed to Epitaph, and performed on Jimmy Kimmel. I also haven't mentioned yet that the band is young. Their ages range from 11 to 17, based on the most recent articles I could find. The Linda Lindas path has been really cool to see. They have skyrocketed into the scene and just put out their debut album, Growing Up. I was recently talking to Dan, who of course has been on the channel before, and we were talking about Pup, and he said, he always mistakes Pup for being a modern band because they sound so much like they could fit into that early, 80s and late 80s scene of punk, the sound of punk with like Black Flag, Minor Threat, and all those bands. And when I was listening to Growing Up, the same thought crossed my mind. I always see comments online about this band is punk or this band isn't punk, fighting about all these new pop punk bands flooding the scene. But if you want clear-cut punk rock, it exists, and the Linda Lindas are it. Growing Up is a great record. It's catchy, heavy, anthemic, all rolled up into one. The title track, Growing Up, is my favorite right now. Instantly got stuck in my head. Talking to Myself, Why, Remember, Magic are all also standouts as well. And then the album ends with the heavy, intense studio version of Racist Sexist Boy. Growing Up is poppy, it's fast, it's intense, it's catchy. It's an album that would fit right at home with the sound of early punk rock, and it hits just as hard today. Make sure to check out the band's self-titled EP as well. Missing You and Never Say Never are my favorites. The Linda Lindas are poised to take over the scene, and they've only just begun. I talked earlier about bands that could fit in with that early sound of punk, and Soul Glow are definitely one of them. The band's new album, Diaspora Problems, has taken over the scene recently. A hardcore record at first, but with elements of hip-hop that make the album unique, heavy as heavy can be, and blistering, in-your-face punk rock. Songs like The Thing I Carry have that distorted, iconic guitar and bass, and it goes right into the screaming. 5 Years of My Family has that opening that reminded me of New Noise by Refused, and when the guitar comes in and then the full song comes in, it is punk rock bliss. I would also recommend checking out the lyrics to the album. A lot of the songs are 2 or 3 minutes long, but the amount of lyrics that the band fits in is insane. You can check out all the lyrics on the band's Bandcamp page. Tree River was a band that caught my attention back in 2019 with the release of their Garden EP. There wasn't really a lot of buzz in the scene around that release, but I enjoyed it, so I kept coming back to it. Songs like Sun and You were my favorites. The band recently released their debut album, Time Being, and it seems like the scene is starting to catch on. Tree River has always played more of a mellow type of emo and pop punk. I wouldn't categorize it as necessarily aggressive, but something similar to like Oso Oso, a more 90s power pop kind of a vibe. Songs like Thought Bubbles, Journey Proud, Sane Blood are my favorites, but the clear standout for me is Crossroading. I know that song is going to end up at the top of my most listened to songs of 2020. From the first time I listened to it, I was hooked. The catchy chorus of F Apathy, it's an anthem, it's a sing-along. If you like pop punk, how could you not love a song about giving the finger to the world? The song also features Max Bemis of Say Anything, and it might be the most pop punk sounding that Say Anything and Max Bemis have sounded since like the self-titled in 2009, but that is a discussion for another day. Crossroading is a phenomenal song, and if nothing else, check that one out.
Excuse me, miss, but after this kiss. Excuse me, miss, after this kiss, where do I fall upon your lips? Excuse me, miss, after this kiss, where do I fall upon your lips? Excuse me, miss.
I've said it before on the channel that the ska revival is here, and it's not going anywhere. I have a few ska videos on the channel, but admittedly, I am late to the party on Catbite. The band took over the scene last year with their album Nice One, and of course, working on this video, I've been listening to it over the past few weeks, the past few days, and I've had it on repeat non-stop. Call Your Bluff, TV Screen Beauty Queen, Bad Influence, My Favorite, Excuse Me Miss, are all great songs that I always come back to. The ska moments are great, the more punky moments are great. Forget just the ska revival. I think the more people that listen to Catbite, I could easily see the band being talked about as one of the top bands in the scene.
Everything I lived in all day long daydreams. I wanna live like that. Yeah, I wanna love that looks that.
Signals Midwest have actually been around since 2012, but I've always felt like they've flown under the radar despite being around for such a long time. The first time I heard about the band was when I saw someone sharing You're Gonna Be Golden from At This Age, and that is still my favorite song from the band. Should Have Been a Painter, West Side Summer are all greats, and then later on, Your New Old Apartment are all some of my favorite songs from the band. Signals Midwest just released their new album Dent, and it's more of what I love from the band. I Used to Draw and Love and Commerce are my jams right now. Signals Midwest have always captured that Midwest punk sound, like a mix between the Lawrence Arms, the Swellers, and Latterman, for example. So I guess we can change that to like Midwest, East Coast, kind of a punk sound and vibe. Gritty, anthemic, and catchy. What do you think about all the bands I talked about? Please let me know down in the comments below. Also check out the description for links to all the bands that I mentioned. Please like and share the video, subscribe if you haven't, tell all your friends, follow me on Twitter, and as always, thanks for watching.